Biscuit. Good morning and Happy New Year. This is Sally Morgan, physical therapist, craniosacral therapist, and Tellington T-Touch practitioner for animals and people. This is Tristan, he's a Corgi, and this is an episode of Conversations with a Corgi. And I'm a little distracted. You can't see it probably, but behind me in one of my sad hemlocks is a crow, and I love my crows, and I don't see them in the yard as much as I used to. They've kind of moved down the road now that they're kids and adolescent. Their nesting is across the street from me in some big white pines, but I love them. So anyway, Happy New Year. Time for resolutions. We all make lots of resolutions at this time of year. We used to, or we did and we failed, or we tried. But this year I want to really encourage you, as I do every year, to make something, a change that's going to be really beneficial to your pets. And the most important thing is what we feed them. What we feed our dogs can really make an impact on their lives. And so it's really important that we look at the kinds of foods we're giving them and how much we're giving them and their weight and their exercise level. Because there's not a person I know who doesn't want more time with their dog. It is the number one most important thing that we want from our pets is lots of time with them. And to do that, we need them to eat better so they can live longer. And there are plenty of things that you're aware of. Golden retrievers used to live to be 13, 14. Now the average lifespan of a golden retriever is down to 8 or 9 due to the incidence of cancer in that breed. Is that an accident? Listen, they're a red-headed animal like a Corgi, and they are sensitive and they are active. And they are therefore more prone to environmental pollution. And I was just reading this morning somewhere that glyphosate is more common in what we eat than it is in the environment. Well, of course, it's in the environment, which is why it gets in what we eat. But this research I was reading was purporting that glyphosate is in our food chain at such an extent that it doesn't matter if you use Roundup every day in your yard because you're eating more than you're spraying if you're not eating organic food. So that goes to our dogs as well, and that may be one factor in what's happening with golden retrievers. I mean, they really are the canary in the coal mine. So I encourage you several things. First, if you feed kibble, stop feeding kibble. Kibble is killing our dogs. It dehydrates them. It makes their entire system go into crisis, and it creates inflammation in the body. Inflammation is the enemy. Inflammation is what is the root of all disease. That's what the current theory is and has been. I know Dr. Upledger was talking about this 20 years ago. He's the developer of craniosacral therapy and an osteopath. And, you know, we can't deny that when you have inflammation, which you do when you have a cold or something, that you feel crappier than when you don't have inflammation. You know, same thing when you've got arthritis or any of the inflammatory diseases. So to decrease inflammation in your dog, don't feed kibble. So for your resolution, I mean, this is a hard transition for some people. If you've got lots of dogs or if they're big and it's expensive to feed them otherwise, you need to at least make the commitment to explore other food options. Even if you can't change what you're feeding them, inform yourself. Feed them the best that you can afford. My dog eats a dehydrated raw, and I cook meat for him to have in that. Sometimes he gets just raw frozen beef mixed in from an organic farm around here that slaughters one cow a week and or one steer a week, and whatever isn't bought gets ground up and frozen and made into a loaf for pets. So you can find places in your area that do that. One of my friends lived in rural upstate New York, and she was lucky enough to have like a local butcher. Who has that anymore? And he saved her things for her dogs, including different organs that she really needed for their health. And her dogs have been super healthy. So explore. If you can't necessarily change your food, make a commitment to stop feeding kibble if you can. And then also try to make a commitment to exercise your dog and keep him at a good weight. Tristan's 10, and you know, Corgis generally live to be 16. I'm hoping he'll live longer because he's being fed better than any Corgi I know. and he doesn't have DM. But, we're still walking 2 miles every day with his little short legs at a pretty smart clip. At some point, he's not going to be able to walk that far, but it is really important for us to give our dogs exercise. Now, Danny lives up where it's cold and snowy and sometimes deep snow, and it may not be easy to go outside and exercise your dog or take a long walk. So what she may choose to do is and I know with 5 dogs or 3 or 2 even, it can be really hard to do this. So you might have to do it one at a time. Just throw the ball up and down the hallway so that they get some running in. And if you can't do that, just doing mind games with them can give them some mental exercise. Treats and puzzles. I love to do the shell game and put a bunch of paper cups with treats under them and watch the dogs try to figure out where the treats are. I mean, there's many things you can do to keep your dogs active, even if you can't go outside. My friend Karen, who teaches dog dancing, one of her most basic things to teach the dogs in the beginning is to follow her. So you can do that with treats or with a squeaky toy and just walk around your house. If you're walking in circles around the dining room table or the kitchen island, that's still exercise for your dog. And when you've got one this size, it doesn't have to be a 2-mile walk, but it makes your dog happy and healthy if you can exercise them more. So think about no kibble, more exercise. If you've got a senior dog, think about getting them an orthopedic dog bed. It will make a big difference in their energy level and how comfortable they are when they're sleeping. If your dog sleeps with you, lots of people put especially if you have a little dog, they put the orthopedic bed on their bed, and then the dog is still getting the benefits of that memory foam. And if you've got a tiny dog like a bony little Chihuahua, he really appreciates having that memory foam under his elbows and things, even if he is on your bed. Now, of course, lots of them like to sleep under the blankets, so that makes it a little bit more tricky to put the dog's bed under the blankets with you. But, you have to find your own comfort level for you and your dog. But the number one thing is to feed them better. There are plenty of information sites out there about what's in dog food to encourage you to feed better. Susan Thixton, that's Thixton, she's a friend of my sister's and a big advocate for better food after some of her pets died from the food she was giving them and the treats. She has a place where you can go to get a list of foods that she approves. The Whole Dog Journal does a list of, quote, approved foods. Really look at feeding raw, organic, or cooked organic. And if you're on a budget, try for a week even, just feeding your dog cooked things from the grocery store that you would buy there, because Tristan eats about $3 worth of turkey every 5 days that I buy from the grocery store. So that's not very much money. Like 1 can of good dog food is more than $3 at this point, and he's happier and healthier eating that cooked turkey than he is eating something in a can with additives and stabilizers and things like that. So even if your only commitment is to make your dog have him organic food, cook him organic food, buy him organic kibble, that's a commitment you can make. And don't be fooled by these people talking about, grain-free foods killing dogs, blah, 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 blah. That I've seen another uptick in that. You can easily buy grained treats to give your dog. I know my company that I feed, they don't come in a grained food in turkey for me, so I have to feed the no grain. But I supplement his diet with enough other things that he is getting grain so that he doesn't get the cardiac issues that you can sometimes get from a grain-free diet. So, even if you can't commit to even looking into it, at least become aware. Be an aware consumer about what your dog might be eating and check some things out. There's plenty of ads on Facebook and across the internet. There's articles everywhere. You can follow my sister, Dr. Judy Morgan, on Facebook. I think she's Dr. Judy Morgan DVM. So you can find her there. You have a nice fenced-in yard and yours get to run every day. There you go, Danny. That's ideal. We like our dogs to run around. And the good thing is she's got a lot of them, so they can chase each other and play with each other. If I don't walk this guy, he doesn't want to go anywhere without me. I can get him to play with sticks in the backyard, but it's so icy and snowy out there, he won't be doing that for another 3 months. So, exercise, best food you can get, a comfortable bed, lots of love and good things for dogs. That's what we want our New Year's resolutions to be. Commit to taking much better care of your dog this year And if you can't do that, just commit to looking into ways that you can make your dog happier and healthier in the new year. So thanks for joining us today for this episode of Conversations with a Corgi. We will be back tomorrow. I think, what's tomorrow? Friday? Yeah. We will be back tomorrow for another episode of Conversations with a Corgi. Saturday, I have to go to New Hampshire and see a bunch of horses, so we won't be here Saturday. Everybody have a great day. Enjoy the new year. Right, Biscuit? And they do play tag. Yeah, herding dogs love to play tag. And certainly that little Cairn Terrier, who's a terrier, not a tag player, has learned to play tag from Tristan. He loves to chase that Cairn Terrier. All right, everybody, have a great day. Thanks for joining us.